how can you be the director of your life? Maybe it's being the director of your team or your organization so that you are setting things up for success and the success that you want, in both in terms of the results that you want to get, but how you want to get them.
Hi, and welcome to Helping You Perform. I'm your host, Paul Teasdale. Over a career working with high-performing teams from across the globe, including 7 years working with Formula One team McLaren, I've learned a lot about what it takes to drive results. In this weekly podcast series, I'm going to be bringing you tips, tricks, and insights from the world of Formula One that you can apply for your organisation for your own high performance. Enjoy.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to yet another episode of Helping You Perform, where I bring my tips, tricks, insights, and stories from the world of F1 and beyond to help you accelerate your own performance. I hope you enjoyed last week's episode 75, where I reflected on a great conversation I had with the amazing Paul Harris from Paul Harris Coaching and talked about the racing mindset and what that means. So if you haven't had a listen, go back and have a listen to that episode. But in this episode 76, I'm going to talk about another amazing guest that I had on the Helping People Perform podcast. And this goes back to episode 51, which was on my birthday, released on my birthday last year, where I turned the ripe old age of many years. But this is from Duncan Nichols. And this was all about be the director of your life. Now, Duncan is an amazing photographer, videographer, storyteller, works in the medium of sport in particular, but does some amazing work, shared some amazing, absolutely amazing video series, as well as some fantastic photo shoots that he's done over the years with all the major brands, some big, big players in the world of sport. But what I loved about the conversation with Duncan was the learnings that he took and how he approached being a director in that world of photography and videography. And most importantly, how can you take those lessons and reflect them back on your life? And that was what this episode, well, that's what I want this episode to focus on. And that is that quote of be the director of your life. So if you think about what a director is doing, a director is setting the stage. The director is making sure that the shots are called. What angles are we going for? How are we going to play this particular scene? How are we going to set things up for the emotional and physical journey that we're going to go on and people are going to go on with us? So you're in control of how the set in front of you is set up and how it plays out. And that's what I got from that conversation. It's how can you direct your life by putting the things in place and knowing that you're in control to actually set the scene, get things set up for your success, for the things that speak to your purpose and your value and your values as well. So you can set that up. You can be the director of your life by choosing what you want to do, setting the scene and calling the shots to make it happen. So as always, I want you to reflect on this. It's like, how can you be the director of your life? Maybe it's being the director of your team or your organization so that you are setting things up for success and the success that you want, in both in terms of the results that you want to get, but how you want to get them. So what are the things you're going to put in play? How are you going to call the shots to help people do what their part in the whole thing? So play their part. Think about a director telling the actors how they want the emotional story to come across. What is it you want to portray? And letting the actors do their job as actors. But you're setting the scene, you're motivating them, you're pulling the strings, all of those great things. So I want you to think about that for yourself. How are you directing your life? What are the things that you can do to be the director of your life? As always, I'd love to hear your stories. Do drop me a line through paulteasdale.co.uk. You'll see the links in the show notes here for that episode with Duncan and all of his details as well. As always, I encourage you, reach out to some of these guests. You never know where that journey is going to take you. Everybody that I've spoken to over the years has been so willing to have that conversation with anybody and to reach out and connect so that we can all add value to each other. So, as always, I'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Helping You Perform podcast. If you found value in this episode, please take a moment to like, share, or review the podcast. You can reach out to me at any time, either through LinkedIn or through my website at www.paulteasdale.co.uk. I look forward to speaking to you in the next episode.